Hi everyone! It's me again, Teacher Will, and welcome back to our Statistics and Probability subject. And this is the third video of Module 4, Sampling and Sampling Distribution. And for today's video, we will learn to find the mean and variance of sampling distribution of the sample means. In our first module, we have learned to compute for the mean and variance of a probability distribution. So, bali same lang din ang process ng pag-compute nun sa pag-compute dito sa mean and variance ng sampling distribution. Okay? So, let's have two examples para ma-recall natin kung paano, and let's try to compare the values from the population mean and variance. Let's start. So let's consider this first problem. Consider a population consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose sample size of 2 are drawn from this population. Describe the sampling distribution of the sample mean. So, question, what is the mean and variance of the sampling distribution? Yan yung kailangan natin sagutin. Then we will compare those values from the population parameters. Then let's draw the histogram para mas ma-visualize pa natin. Unahin nating computein ay ang ating population parameters, yung ating population mean at population variance. Ayan. So, ito yung mga notation ng ating population, ng ating mga parameters. So, to compute for the mean, same pa rin sa mga madalas na pagkuha natin ng mean, we get the summation of our variables divided by the sample size. Okay. Ayan. So, in this, ang ating mga data is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 at saka 5. Ayan. So, ito po siya. Ipag-add-add lang siya at syempre, lima po itong population na to. So, 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 5 is 15 divided by 5. That will give us 3. So, 3 ang ating population mean. So, paki-take note na lang yung mga values kasi kailangan po natin yan sa table natin gagawin mamaya. Next, the population variance. Ang ating formula naman ay same pa rin sa pag-compute natin. Yan, na-discuss nyo naman na ito nung junior high kayo. So, we have the summation of our, the square of the x minus the mean over, syempre yung sample size pa rin. Ayan. So, pag diretso na lang natin isulat dito, x minus, we have 1, minus mean is 3, then squared, plus 2 minus 3 squared plus 3 minus 3 squared plus 4 minus 3 squared, then 5 minus 3 squared. Tingnan. Over 5. Yan. So, 1 minus 3, negative 2, and squared, that will give us 4. Plus 2 minus 3 is negative 1, squared, that is 1. 3 minus 3 is 0, squared, of course, 0 pa rin yan. Then, 4 minus 3 is 1, squared, 1 pa rin. 5 minus 3 is 2, squared, that is 4, over 4. And we have 4 plus 1, 5 plus 1, 6 plus 4 is, bakit over 4 to? Over 5 po yan. Is equal to 10 over 5. Hindi nakita. So, 10 over 5, ayan, or 2. So, 2 ang ating population variance. Take note na lang. Next naman natin ang ating sample statistics, which are the sample mean and sample variance. So, for the sample mean, bago man lang lahat yun, kailangan pa lang kasi natin muna yung ating sampling distribution. And katulad ng last na discussion natin, kung paano gawin ang sampling distribution. Una, you have to determine the number of possible samples of size 2. So, syempre, gamitin natin ang ating population size is 5. Ayan. Then, ang ating sample size is 2. Dalawa lang. Use our calculator na lang. Madali. Shift 5. 5, then 2. Ayan. So, 10. We have 5, C2. Ayan. So, that is 10. So, 10 yung possible samples natin. So, kailangan natin ilista ngayon itong sample na to. Since dalawa lang, meron tayong 1, 2. Then, 1, 3, 1, 4, lahat na possible, 1, 5, pwede rin 2, 3, 2, 4, at 2, 5. At pwede rin 3, 4, then 3, 5. And last, pwede rin 4, 5. Yan. So, yan yung lahat ng possible samples natin. So, ngayon, kunin natin yung mean. 1 plus 2, that will give us 3 divided by 2, 1.5. 1 plus 3 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. An average ng 1 at 4, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. 1 plus 5 is 6 divided by 2, 3. 2 plus 3 divided by 2 is 5. Again, ang yung mean kasi is the average. So, kailangan mong ipag-add then divided by kung ilan sila. So, kaya siya 2 plus 4 divided by 2 kasi dadalaw lang sila. So, 2 plus 2 is 6. 6 tama. Divided by 2, that is 3. 2 plus 5 divided by 2 is 3.5. 3 plus 4 divided by 2 is 3.5 pa rin. 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2, that is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. Ayan. So guys, ang next natin gagawin ay yung ating sampling distribution. Ayan. So, again, ang sampling distribution, kailangan natin yung ating sample mean, then its corresponding probability. So ngayon, ang sample mean natin ay ito. Kailangan po natin gawin ng lowest to highest. So, we have 1.5, may 2, may 2.5, may 3, may 3.5, may 4, at may 4.5 ngayon. What is the probability that the mean of the numbers is? 1.5. So, isa lang. 1 out of 10 lang. So, 2, isa lang din. 1 out of 10. Ang 2.5 natin is dalawa. Ayan. So, 2 over 10. Ang 3 natin is dalawa din. 2 over 10. Ang 3.5 is dalawa din. 2 over 10 pa rin. Then, 4, isa lang. And 4.5 is isa lang. So, yan yung ating sampling distribution. Okay. Ngayon, compute na natin ang ating sample mean at variance. Sample variance since meron na tayong data na to. So, kung maaalala nyo ang ating formula to get to get the mean of a probability distribution, kailangan natin yung summation ng ating product sa mean at saka corresponding p of x niya. Yan. So, yun lang yung kailangan natin. Sige, diretso na lang po natin. Siyempre, ang ating notation is ito. Ayan, mean of the sample. Ayan. So, equals to, ayan, ipag-add-add lang po. Ang una natin is 1.5. Ito muna. Ayan, pag-times natin po siya. 1.5 times 1 over 10, that is 0.15. Plus, 2 times 1 over 10, of course, that is 0.2. Ayan. Pakita ko na lang din. 2 times 1 over 10, yan, 0.2. Then, 2.5 times 2 over 10, 0.5. Plus, 3 times 2 over 10, yan, 0.6. Plus, 3.5 times 2 over 10, yan, 0.7. Plus, 4 times 1 over 10, of course, that is 0.4. Then, yung 4.5 times 1 over 10 is 4.5, of course, 0.4. 0.45. Ayan. Pag-add na po natin, 0.15 plus 0.2 plus 0.5 plus 0.6, 0.6 plus 0.7 plus 0.4 plus 0.45. Ayan. So, the answer is 3. So, yung ating sample mean ay 3. Ayan. Yan. Compute naman natin yung variance ng ating sampling distribution. So, ito yung ating notation. And to compute for the variance of a probability distribution, same pa rin yung ating formula. We have yung summation ng ating product, p of x, and x minus the mean, then squared. Ayan. So, yan lang. Idiretso na po natin sa ating, and again, itong page na. Ayan. Ayan. Diretso na natin sa ating calculator. So, we have, ito muna tayo. 1 over 10 times, okay, 1.5 minus, ang mean input natin ay 3. Ayan. So, minus 3 squared. So, we have 0.225. Ayan. Plus, next naman is 1 over 10 pa rin. Times 2 minus 3 then squared. 0.1. Next. Ito naman. 2 over 10 times 2.5 minus 3 squared. 0.05. Next, ito naman. 2 over 10 times 3 minus 3 squared. Wala naman 0 po yan. Plus, ito naman, 2 over 10 times 3.5 minus 3 squared of 0.05. Then, ito naman next. 1 over 10 times 4 minus 3 squared. We have 0.1. Then, 1 over 10 times 4.5 minus 3 then squared. Ayan. 0.225. Ayan. So, ipag-add lang natin siya. 0.225 plus 0.1 plus 0.05 plus 0 plus 0.05 plus 0.1 plus 0.225. Ayan. So, the answer is 0.75. So, ito yung ating sample variance. Ayan. Take note na lang. Okay. So, yung next na gagawin natin ay yung histogram. Ano yung histogram nitong ating problem. Yan. So, again, madali lang siya yung ganun pa rin. We have, ayan, gawa tayo. Siyempre, 0. Then, we have 1 over 10, 2 over 10, 3 over 10. Actually, kahit hanggang 2 over 10 lang pala kasi yun lang naman ang probabilities natin. Again, this is P of X to. Tapos sa baba yung ating sample mean. So, we have, reparehas lang naman silang 0.5, no? Start natin na lang sa 1.5. 1.5, 2, 2.5. Dapat same-same yung spaces niya. Sorry. Then we have 3, 3.5, 4, then 4.5. Ayan. Let's say, same-same po yung distance nila. Medyo nahihirapan kasi ako dito sa aking kanila. So, yung 1.5, yung 1.5 is, yan. Ang 2 is 1 over 10 din. Ang 2.5 is 2 over 10 na siya. Ang 3 is 2 over 10 din. Parehas sila hanggang 3.5. Then, ang 4 is 1 over 10. Yan, ganyan lang mag-histogram ha. 4.5. Yan. So, that's it. So, mukha pa rin siyang normal curve na kung saan ang mean natin, ang highest peak natin is ayan. For problem number 2, a population consists of the numbers 2, 4, 5, 9, and 10. Take 3 numbers as samples from the population. Describe the sampling distribution of the sample mean. So, ito yung example natin dito doon sa ating second video. Balikan nyo na lang yun para alam nyo kung paano natin ginawa yung ating sampling distribution. Pero dito, ipipresent ko na lang siya. Nagawa na. Diba, kasi nagawa naman na natin siya para hindi na masyadong matagal. So, let's compute for the population parameter. So, yung mean natin, yan, summation of x over sample size. Yan, pagpa-plus-plus lang po natin yan. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9 plus 10. So, ilan sila? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 5. We have 6. So, 6 ang ating population mean. Yan. Yan. Take note nyo yung mga ating values. The next yung ating variance. Again, kunin lang natin yung summation ng x minus mean, then squared all over sample size. Yan. Okay. So, idiretso na natin. 2 minus 6 equals, then squared. Yan, 16. Plus, next natin, 4 minus 6 equals squared. 4. Plus, 5 minus 6 equals, then squared, you have 1. Then, 9 minus 6, then squared, you have 9. Then, 10 minus 6 equals yan ha, then squared, you have 16 din. Yan. So, pag-add lang natin, over 5. Ayan. So, pag-add na natin siya. 16 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 16. Ayan. 46. 46 over 5. Ayan. Divided by 5. 9.2 or 9.2. So, yan na yung ating population variance. Diba? Population variance. So, take note. Proceed na tayo sa ating sample statistics. Yung una muna ay computing natin ang ating sample mean, then ang sample variance. So, ito na po yung ating sampling distribution. Yan na siya. Katulad, ang ginawa na natin to last video, kaya hindi na natin uulitin. Yan. Kaya proceed na tayo. Yan. Compute the mean of the sampling distribution. Ayan. Ayan, kailangan natin computing. So, the formula is the summation, ayan, of x, of course, ito mean na yan, P of x. Pag times lang po yan, then ipag-add na natin. Diretso na natin sa calculator. 3.67 times 1 over 10. 0.367. 0.367. plus 5 times 1 over 10, that will give us 0.5. Then 5.33 times 0.2, 1.066 plus 5.67 times 1 over 10 or 0.1. Gabi na yung plus natin. 0.567. And plus 6 times 1 over 10, 0.6 plus 6.33 times 1 over 10, 0.633 plus 7 times 1 over 10, 0.7. Napapakita ko na lang sa inyo para ano ha. Doon kayo kung imano-mano to. Pero ipapakita ko yung computation. 7.67 times 1 over 10, 0.767 plus, nilas na natin, 8 times 1 over 10. 0.8. Yan. So, 0.367 plus 0.5 plus 1.066. 1.066 plus 0.567 plus 0.6 plus 0.633 plus 0.7 plus 0.767 plus 0.8. 0.8. Yan, 6. So, ang ating sample mean ay 6. Okay, pakitake note na lang ulit. Then, next naman natin computein ay yung ating sample variance. Sample variance, yun pa rin ang ating formula. Okay, diretso na natin sa calcu. 3.67 minus, ano yung mean natin kanina? 6, no? 6 and 6. Minus 6 squared times 1 over 10. 0.5428 plus. Sige natin to. 5 minus 6 squared times 1 over 10. 0.1. Then 5.33 minus 6 squared times 2 over 10. 0.08978. Yan. Plus 5.67 minus 6 squared times 1 over 10. So we have 0.01089. Okay. Next, 6 minus 6 squared, 0 na yun, times 1 over 10. Ayan, 0 na siya, 0. Plus 0 na yun. So, dito na. Plus 6.33 minus 6 squared times 1 over 10. We have 0.01089 plus 7 naman. 7 minus 6 squared times 1 over 10. Yan, 0.12 plus 7.67 minus 6 squared times 1 over 10. 0.27889 plus we have 8 minus 6 squared times 1 over 0.4. Ano na lang? 0.4. Okay, pag-add na natin para makuha na natin ang ating sample variance. Ayan. 0.54289 plus 0.1 plus 0.08978 plus 0.01089 plus 0 plus 0.01089 plus 0.1 plus 0.2788 plus 0.4. That will give us 1.53334. Ayan. Or kahit ano na lang, 3 decimal na lang. So, we have 1.53. Kaya na lang. Okay. So, itong ating sample variance. Yan. Summarize na natin yung ating mga nakuhang values so that we can already compare the means and variance of the population and the sampling distribution of the means. Okay? So, yung sa first problem natin, ang population natin doon ay 5. And ang ating sample size is 2 lang. So, ang mean na na-compute natin doon is, ayan is 3. Tama? At ang variance naman na-compute, population variance naman natin is 2. Ayan. So, ang ating sample mean naman ay 3 din. Then, ang ating standard deviation, sample variance is 0.75. Ayan. And sa problem 2 naman, ang ating sample size is 5, while ang ating ang ating population size is 5, at ang ating sample size is 3. So, ang ating population mean, na na-compute ay 6, ang ating population variance naman ay 9.2. At ang ating sample mean naman, ayan, we have 6 as well. And ang ating, okay, limutan yung square. Sample variance is 1.533, diba? So, paano naman kunin ang standard deviation? Kung maaalala niyo, ang standard deviation is the square root of your variance. Kaya, square root lang natin yung 2. Square root of 2, we have 1.41. Okay na, 1.41. So, the standard deviation is 1.41. Next, ang ating namang sample standard deviation, square root of 0.75. That will give us 0.866. So, yung population standard deviation, square root of 9.2, that is 3.033. Okay na yan. Then, sample standard deviation, we have the square root of 1.533. That is equal to 1.238. Okay na yan. So, yan ang ating table. So, as you can observe, yung mean ng ating sampling distribution at yung ating population mean ay equal. Lagi siyang equal. Ayan, equal to 3, equal to 3, equal to 6, equal to 6. But, sa ating variance, we have different values. Ayan, sa variance at sa standard deviation natin. So, sample has a smaller value of variance and standard deviation than the population, di ba? Mas maliit siya kaysa sa population. And it differs as your sample increases and decreases. Next, kung titingnan natin, napakahaba talaga yung process para makompute yung ating sample mean at sample variance. Nakakapark. Yan. So, di ba, sa susunod na slide natin, I will show you a theorem that provides a simpler way to compute for the mean and variance of the sample. So, depende pa rin sa number of population natin kung ito ay finite or infinite population. Yan. So, pag sinabi natin finite population, ito yung may eksaktong bilang tayo ng population. While yung pag sinabi naman natin infinite, walang hanggan yung bilang natin. So, infinitely yung population natin. Ayan. So, ito yung theorem natin. If all possible random samples of size n are taken with replacement or independent from a population with a mean, ayan, and variance, ayan, then the sample mean or the variance and the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the sample mean are ito. Ayan. So, ito yung equal lang siya sa sample. Yung sample mean natin equal siya sa population mean. Yung variance naman, yung ating population variance divided by sample size. Yung ating standard deviation naman, sample standard deviation is population standard deviation divided by square root of the sample size. Yan. So, paano naman kung finite population, katulad ng mga examples natin kanina, paano ang formula niya? So, if all possible random samples of size n are taken without replacement, yan, from a finite population of size n, ayan, with a mean and variance, then the mean, the variance, and standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the sample mean are, ayan, so equal lang ang ating mean sa population mean. Then, yung sample variance natin is population variance divided by the sample size times mo ito, yan, yung n minus n over population minus 1. So, itong factor na to is what we call our correction factor ng finite population. Kasi it will be close to 1 and can be safely ignored when our sample size is small compared sa ating population size. Okay? Then, ang ating sample standard deviation naman is ganun din. Population standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size times the square root of our correction factor. Okay? So, yun yung ating standard deviation. Yan. So, try natin gamitin itong mga formula na to. Sa finite population muna tayo, yung problem 1 and 2 natin. Yan natin kung makukompute natin yung the same value. Ayan. So, try natin i-compute to kung lalabas. Ayan. So, yan. And then ito, at ito. Problem 1 muna tayo. So, yung mean natin, sabi sa theorem, ang sample mean natin ay equal na sa population mean. Ayan. So, equal naman talaga. Ang sample variance naman natin ay iba. So, ang formula natin is, ayan, sulat lang natin yung kanina. Population variance divided by the sample size times yung correction factor natin. Okay? Yan ang correction factor. Substitute, population variance is 2. Ang sample size natin is 2 din. Times, ang ating population size is 5 minus 2 over 5 minus 1. Yan. Ang calculator natin, 2 over 2 is equal to 1. Course. And times natin siya sa corrector factor. So we have 5 minus 2 over 5 minus 1. Ayan. Equals 0.75. Ayan, di ba? Mas madali siya. Ayan. 0.75. So, try naman natin yung standard deviation. Yung same lang din. Gamit yung ating formula. Standard deviation is population standard deviation divided by the square root of sample size times the square root of corrector factor. Yan. So, minus n and minus 1. Yan. Standard deviation is 1.41 over square root of, ang sample size natin is 2 times yung correct square root ng 5 minus 2 over 5 minus 1. Yan. Okay, compute natin. 1.41 divided by square root of 2 yan, times the square root of, try natin ito. 5 minus 2, 5 minus 1. Yan, 0.86345. Ayan. Hindi lang siya eksakto kasi nga hindi rin eksakto yung value natin ng 1.41 dyan. Pero, yan. 2.86. Near na rin siya kasi nga naman hindi pala to eksakto. Pero kung i-eksakto kasi natin yan, ang ilalagay natin dito is square root of 2. Tingnan natin kung same ang lalabas. Square root of 2. Ayan. O, diba? 0.86 which is 0.866 which is 0.87. Ayan. Yan. Ganun din. So, problem 2, itry nyo na lang. So, hindi na masyado mahaba. Ayan. So, next tayo. Alright, so let's have examples naman ng mga problems that involves yung mga infinite population naman natin. So, problem number 3, the population has a mean of 60 and standard deviation of 5. A random sample of 16 measurements is drawn from this population. Describe the sampling distribution of the sample means by computing its mean and standard deviation. So, we shall assume that the population is infinite. Yan, so yung una, ang computing natin ay sample mean. So, ang sample mean naman, equal lang naman sa ating population mean. Kaya, ang population mean po natin, ayan, is 60. So, 60 lang din po ang ating sample mean. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. While ang ating sample standard deviation naman is equal to the population standard deviation over the square root of n. So, dito, ang population standard deviation po natin is 5. Yan, divided by the square root of, sample size natin is, yan, 16. Compute lang natin, 5 divided by the square root of 16. So, we have 1.25. So, ito na yung ating sample standard deviation. Yan, so, ganun lang siya kadali. For our last example, the heights of male college students are normally distributed with the mean of 6 to 8 inches and standard deviation of 3 inches. So if samples consisting of 25 students each are drawn from the population, what would be the expected mean and standard deviation of the resulting sampling distribution of the means? Our sample mean, then equal lang naman kasi siya sa ating population mean. Ayan, equal lang siya sa population mean. And given naman na ang ating population mean is 68 inches. Ayan. So therefore, yun din ang ating sample mean. Ayan. Next, ang ating standard deviation naman, sample standard deviation is equal to the population standard deviation divided by square root of n. So ang population standard deviation natin is 3 and ang ating sample mean, sample size is 25 students. So 3 divided by square root of 25, that will give us 0.6. So 0.6 ang ating sample standard deviation. Yan. So, ganun lang siya kabilis. Hindi na kailangan nyo kaninang ang dami-dami pang solusyon. Yan. Okay, so tandaan nyo lang yung ating mga formula. At i-take note nyo lang yan. Basta alam nyo yung formula, kaya-kaya nyo lang isolve yung ating mean ng sampling distribution as well as yung ating variance ng sampling distribution. Yan. So thank you for listening. Make sure to hit the notification bell to get updated with our lesson.